going here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the heart of Georgia. Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Buffalo Bills and the Atlanta Falcons. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Allen going to look to throw on the first play. And his first pass is incomplete.
They are such a talented team at defending the perimeter and taking away throws to the outside. Great confidence, great skill.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing now is Allen. Going deep for Diggs. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. So there is the big arm of Josh Allen on display. He can throw it as deep as anybody, and that was an absolute laser.
And we knew that they'd try to attack the secondary, but I'm not sure that we thought they'd do it right on the first drive of the game. But here they saw an opportunity, seized it, and it's a big play right off the bat.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Allen now looks to throw. Shakir holds it in. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. Now Allen off the bootleg. Working the middle here. That's complete to Knox, the tight end. Touchdown, Bills. Dawson Knox, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bills will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. From deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. Falcons 1st and 10 here as Ritter gets them ready at their own 12-yard line.
10 cycles. Green jack. Black shot.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And the Bills are going to take possession of the football. So already trailing, Charles, they opted to try to take a shot on their first play from scrimmage. Obviously, that one didn't pan out.
Absolutely not. And how about the momentum that's being created now? You score, you take it away, big return. You got a chance to go up 2 touchdowns here early in the game. That'll feel great for their team.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Well, they certainly knew their challenge as this series began, and they got to stop on play number 1. Goal now, get 2 more stops and limit the damage to a field goal.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Allen. And that's incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after the last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get the momentum going again.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Allen going to throw. This is caught. Touchdown. Khalil Shakir. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Bills are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Charles, it's kind of gut check time. Look, I know it's early, first quarter, just their second drive of the game, but they've already thrown the interception, given up the score. You're down double digits. They got to figure out something, and pretty quickly here.
No doubt about it. And when we look at that sideline, I'm sure you're observing the same thing I am. I don't like the body language at all. They look like they're in a state of stunned disbelief. So to me, we always talk about someone stepping up and making a big play. I think it would behoove them if multiple guys step up and make big plays right now. They need something positive to happen, and they need for it to happen now.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple.
Plastic, 6. Strike 60. Ready?
They'll go right back to Nwangu. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Hey.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Well, this defense for the Bills, they played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one. But 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He's got Allen. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that'll leave him with a 3rd and just a yard.
Oh, I see you nodding your head along with me, partner, because it's pretty obvious what they were trying to do there on the drag route. With his speed, they're hoping he can turn the corner and maybe take this to the house. But that was excellent work defensively to make sure once he caught it, he wasn't going anywhere.
17.
Straight ahead, here's Nwangu. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And the Bills are going to take possession of the football. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
He will find Diggs in the end zone. Touchdown, Buffalo. Stephon Diggs with career touchdown number 70. And the Bills are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
This is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with it. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
On second down, here's Nwangu. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 7 yards there and a first down. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
Brought down by Ed Oliver.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Blue strike.
Back to throw here. That'll be complete to the running back, Nwangu. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. And complete to Drake London. And he's going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, these guys certainly need something good to go their way because this first quarter has been something of a disaster for them trying to move the ball. But that completion there maybe can get them focused and moving in the right direction.
Ritter's pass complete to Pitts. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Another run now for Nwangu. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
Now that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Oh, a good return up past the 30. And he will be taken down here as the first quarter of play will come to an end. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
On second down, Cook. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 on that one, and a Bills first down.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Allen. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. That is complete downfield to Knox. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Dawson Knox with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Bills are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder in the ball carrier, and down he goes.
And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Up the middle, Nwangu. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped them, bringing up 4th down.
Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Johnson to return it. They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that. So I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. And that is incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
As Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35.
Let's go now.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Wide open. Rail. Set.
On the give is Nwangu. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Yellow. Ready?
2nd and 9 now. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
So danger averted for the moment, but now here's a 3rd and long.
Snatch. Red. Green jack.
Now back to throw. That's going to be caught by Pitts. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
I know you're trying to score one, Raj, but you only got 3 points. You got to hope that type of play there gives you some positive momentum going into the half.
Yeah, need to do something to get more than that 3 number that they have on the scoreboard right now.
Down.
They'll run for it. It's Nwangu. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. Back to Nwangu again on 1st down. Now they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. 45 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Blaster, stick. Trail green. You, yellow. Right.
They'll drop to throw. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the 1st half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Right. Field, black. Ready.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Well, this is intercepted. They get Ritter for the 3rd time. Jair Elam makes a pick, and the Bills force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Now flags will come in. One of the Bills got going a little early. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. They were looking good on second down, but now they're backed up 5 yards by the false start, and it's 2nd and 8. Now Allen. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Here's Allen to throw it. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety.
Every team has plays in their book to try and buy some room when a safety's on the table. But a big variable is how does each team deal with the pressure of executing in those situations. In this case, they didn't, and they gave up 2 points.
And a penalty accepted, and they move the ball forward. Very good starting field position for the Falcons offense as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first-half scores just like this one.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw here. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Handoff here to Nwangu. He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot, and this will remain a 23-point deficit.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
That's caught inside the 20. Now a timeout called with 3 seconds to go. And, of course, they're in field goal range in the final seconds of this first half. Final shot before half for Allen. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Bills taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. It'll be Falcons football, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
Six, pepper. Red, yellow. Jackrabbit, jackrabbit.
They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
But we saw that he had a lot of success last week throwing the football, but that hasn't translated to this week. But with his team behind, I don't expect him to back off. I expect him to keep firing.
Green jack. Ready?
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. And he is going to score. It's a pick six and a Bills touchdown.
And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick six.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Ready?
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Red, cycle.
They'll set up to throw.
Got his man. It's London.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Ready. Blaster, 6.
He'll look to throw.
Drops this off with Nwangu. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Ready.
Second and 4. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Von Miller racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Ritter and the Falcons need an answer, and a big play here on third and long following the sack.
Yellow. Ready.
They're going to look to throw. He finds his target, Beckham. And he's got a first down as a tackle made at the Bills' 42. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. So first and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 42-yard line. They'll run with Nwangu, and he can only manage to get a couple. Second and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
On the run is Nwangu.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a third and 10.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Von Miller in there for a milestone sack. That's number 150 of his great career. The Falcons send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the second time. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Bills will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
The first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
They run it again with Cook. And some room to work. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds.
51 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. He'll look to throw. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Watch out now, 52. Eagle blue.
On play action, they'll throw.
That'll be complete to the running back, Nwangu.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time.
Come on, set.
2nd and 7.
Striker, 3-3. Drill, 52. Black Ultra.
Back to throw again.
And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
to try it here. He's back to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Bills are going to take over in excellent field position. Up the middle, it's Cook. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. 66 yards rushing for him now to this point. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Here's Cook again. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
That burst good for 20 and a first down. They'll try the middle with Cook. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It's a gain of 7 on the ground. 2nd down coming up.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with the lead, you love that. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Gabriel Davis from 3 yards out. And the Bills are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the fourth quarter. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15.
Ready up.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days. He's got a man complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
As a general manager, you're counting on your first and second round draft picks to have a big-time impact on your team. But where you make your bones, rounds 3 through 7. If you can find a few diamonds in the rough there, develop them, then you've got something going, and we're seeing one right here.
Yeah, plays like that lead me to believe that they found a diamond in the rough. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Green jack. Black shot. Ready.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. He's going to take another shot here. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Red, cycle. Steal, check, steal. Check.
They'll look to throw again. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Levante David. And the Bills are going to take possession of the football. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it, and the Bills will add on to their lead. So they hadn't called on him at all until this point, but he comes through here and buries one from long range.
Yeah, that's awfully impressive because usually kickers like to get that first one out of their system in the first quarter, sort of get them into the flow of the game, but to come in this late and knock it down from long distance, give him a lot of credit.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And they take him down. The Bills get to him.
That's Gregory Rousseau getting in there to bring him down.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. They'll look to throw. Going deep here for Allen. Oh, wide open, complete. Touchdown, Falcons. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that's the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They're looking at a 3rd straight win here if they can hold on. They'll try and wind down some clock with Cook.
That's to about the 28. 2nd down coming up.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards. Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Oh, he's got some breathing room. 30, 20, 10, 5.
67 yards rushing for him now in just his first 3 carries.
Big run here in the 4th as they continue to wear down this defense.
And that's when the offensive line coach clicks onto the headset and says, head coach, offense coordinator, let my guys fire out and hit people. We're wearing them down. Let's finish them off with the running game.
It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced